Welcome to Healthy Cooking with Chef Jeff. This is the first show of the year, 2018. We made it to 18. Look forward to big things in 2018. Stay tuned. Welcome to Healthy Cooking with Chef Jeff today. Today we're going to be doing something special. We're going to be doing a soup. Since it's kind of chilly outside and cold, we had a little bit of winter mix here, but which is fine with me. That makes me want to make a hearty soup. Today we're going to make a soup with cabbage and rice. And we're going to use two different flavors of cabbage. We're going to use a green cabbage and a red cabbage. A lot of people are not used to cabbage soups around here, we are so used to the traditional vegetable soup with the carrots, peas, and stuff like that, and beans in our soup. So we're going to use something different, try to change it up a little bit and still get a good flavor out of it. We're going to do some cabbage, red cabbage, which I got over here. Let me pull it out. And of course, I got the basics to go in it, which are celery, carrots. That's just my personal. I like to have those items in there. But the recipe doesn't call for those things. It calls for onions, the cabbage, a little bit of rice, and a few spices that I have over here, which are nutmeg, salt, and pepper, the basic salt and pepper. And we'll also be putting a broth into the soup. We'll be using over here, we'll be using a beef broth, a low sodium chicken broth, and I also have a light vegetable oil to sear the vegetables that's going in it, like the cabbage. I have a bright red cabbage, a small basic cabbage here, and we're going to use those. In my saucepan here, which we call a pot, that's what I'm used to calling it, but traditional people call it saucepan. I'm going to go ahead and get started warming that up so we can go ahead and get started here. Of course, I got to get my gloves on. I always get my gloves on. And I see quite a few new people in the audience here, which is great. I hope everybody had a great start to the new year. That's just among us. And hopefully it doesn't go as fast as last year. Slow down and live a little bit so we can see what happened throughout the year. Because I know right now I can't remember what I started the year out doing last year. Yeah, I hope I was cooking somewhere. All right, my pan should be getting good and hot. Let me see if I got a flame under there. I do. Yep, and I got a little heat already. That's a good thing. And I'm gonna start out by cutting the onion. The recipe calls for me to put a little bit of oil in the pan, chop up an onion, put it in there first. The reason why we're doing that is to get that onion kind of tender and to pick up that onion flavor in that pan. So when that heat hit it and all that flavor get there with the cabbage, the onion, and the spices, yeah, so it all marinate together there. All right. Give this little guy a little view. And me, I always like to cut an onion different from traditional way. I don't need as much. I always slice it and lay it on its side because the onion will fall apart by itself, to me. And then I just chop it. And then as y'all can see how it fell apart just by doing that. Okay, now a little oil in there. Oh yeah, smelling kind of nice. Now you're probably going to hear a light sear to the onions, and that's the caramelization beginning to start. What I'm doing with this knife, don't ever do at home, please don't, because you cut yourself. I'm so used to doing it. And I wish people could see what I see in here. A lot of times I like to say, make it your own. When I say that, I mean, if you want to make a soup like this and change it a little bit, it's okay. You can add chicken, rice, and cabbage, you know, stuff like that, or sausage to it to make it your own. But I hope the people out there can see those caramelization of the onions. And you want them to get kind of tender. Can y'all smell that out there? I know the people out there that's watching the show can't smell it. That's obvious. But those onions smell so wonderful. And me, I like onions, especially on cube steak. And now I'm just going to julienne. Julienne is a cut style. The cabbage itself. And we all know cabbage don't take long to get tender. And that's what a julienne looked like. But you know, when you eating it in a soup, it's kind of difficult. You want to eat it kind of small. So I'm gonna rough cut it some more. Ooh, got some burnt onions going on there. Can't have that. Maybe I ought to cut that guy down some. Can't have burnt onions in the soup. And I'm going to do the same for this, the red cabbage. Of course, it's a little bit hardier than the green cabbage. So you have to cook it just a little bit longer. That looked nice, just like that. Now I'm going to take this spoon, mix it just a little bit better, so the people out there can see it. That cabbage has soaked up all that oil, every bit of it. So I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. And I want people to see that. Can y'all see that? That's the beginning of it. You know, like I said, make it your own. You can also add hardy vegetables and hardy fruit to it, like pears and apples if you want to do that, to change it up a little bit. So you can add those things to it. Then I'm going to take one of these little spoons here and put the spices in it, so the spice itself can be drawn out, the flavor of the spice can be drawn out in the soup. And this is just a tad, just a little bit, a tad, a smidget of nutmeg. So that's just nutmeg. It's a small amount. Yes, yes. So that flavor can come out also as well. This here is black pepper. The recipe calls for a sprinkle of black pepper. So people, you know, if you just get a little sprinkle to your taste. Me, I like black pepper. I love some black pepper versus salt. You know. Then if I would have used red onions in here, it would have got lost due to the red cabbage. Now, just a little bit of salt, because that stock itself, this here, has a lot of sodium in it, and you want to watch that kind of stuff. You can buy that stuff in the store, beef stock, or chicken stock, fish stock, vegetable stock, all that to start out your soups with or sauces with. You could do those things there. Now, also, if you don't want to do like me, I pre-cook my rice. You can put your rice in there with the cabbage and all that and let it simmer with the stock, and that'll continue to cook the rice. Reason why I did it is because of time consuming. That's the only reason. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of chicken stock. Now I'm gonna raise the heat back up on it and let it come to a boil right along with the beef stock. And now I'm gonna put a lid on it so it can come to a boil. Even though the camera is right above it, but that shouldn't take no time to do. To cook this soup, it shouldn't take no more than 30 minutes at the most. If you're cooking it for your family or your friends, or if you're just having a Sunday dinner. Now,
where's the cabbage? The cabbage is done then?
Yes, ma'am. As soon as the cabbage is done, which is cut the way it's cut, it takes no time to cook. But if I leave it whole like so, big leaf, it takes a little longer to cook because the cabbage itself has to be broken down. And the stock and all that would get in the membrane, so the cabbage into here and break it down. And you have a lot of flavor there. And if you want to cut it that big and put it in your soup, that's fine too. Because cabbage, like any other vegetable, will break down. It'll get smaller for you. Now, with that being said, and then I'll doing what it do, I'm going to cut these vegetables here, the carrots, and you may notice I left the skin on, for the simple fact that that skin has a lot of nutrient and vitamins in it. We peel that stuff off a lot of times because we think it's rough to eat, and all reality is not. You can just cut the tip off and here and eat a carrot, like so. I have done events where I roast a carrot. Yeah, anybody ever roasted a carrot? All the sugar content come out and it tastes similar to a sweet potato, like that. And it's get real sweet. All right. And then celery, of course, you don't have to speak on celery. Celery is something of its own. You clean up a little bit. I don't want to be kind of messy on the air. All right. When it comes to celery and me cutting it, I like to cut it in strips and then dice it. A lot of people like to peel it in their hand. It's the wrong thing to do. If you got a food processor, cut it in chunks and then put it in your food processor. That's the safe way. But me, I like to cut mine like this into strips, and then I dice it up. And to come out with a good dice, turn it sideways and cut it like that. And then you got a good bite size of a celery. So you don't have to worry about it being mushy out of the food processor. And that makes it a lot easier. Oh, we already got a ball to it. That was quick, wasn't it? Then you see how it's becoming the dices of the celery. It's a good little dice there. And you can use that cutting style. You can use it to cut celery, carrots, any stick type vegetable that you're cutting. And I'm gonna put this over in there so it can get tender too. So you have a little bit more flavor to your soup. All right? Because cabbage and rice sounds good, but cabbage, rice, celery, carrot, and onion sounds just a little bit better. Because we all know celery don't take long to get tender. Now, like I mentioned, I'm cutting the tips off. And the reason why I'm putting this carrot in there last is so it'll still be kind of not so tender, but not so tough either in the soup. So you have a bite to your soup. And you feel like you're eating something besides the cabbage, the rice, and stuff. Now, when it comes to cutting carrots, I do it pretty much the same way. I take both of my fingers, hold the carrot in place, and put the point end of the knife on where I'm cutting, and just press down on it. And I do the same thing again, and just press down on it. Because the knife is straight, it ain't going anywhere. It makes it a lot easier. And the same process over and over to cut sticks. And see, that's a pretty nice little stick there. And then I just do like I did the celery. Cut it into little chunks. Now your recipe doesn't require this, like I said, and me, I like to make it my own. Yeah. Oh yeah, them guys looking pretty good in there. And basically I'm just adding this also to add color to it, to the soup. Some people eat with their eyes. If it doesn't look good, it doesn't taste good, you know. My kids used to be like that. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Try it. Some of the stuff that don't look good tastes mighty good to them. Now, I'm going to try to hold this down so you can see it. As y'all can see. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to walk around the room so you can get a sense of it, the smell of it, before I add the rice to it, so you can see it. I'm going to walk around this way. I'm going to walk to the back of the room so these people can see what you guys see. All right? Can you see that?
Yes.
Smell good, doesn't it? You see that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's unique. You know? I want everybody to be part of the show, you know? See that? You see that?
Yep.
Now your recipe,
Does the rice cook in 20 minutes then?
yes,
It will cook in
in 20 minutes. Yes. I'm gonna hold that over. Can you see that? Look good, doesn't it? Smell good?
Yeah.
All right. You smell it? You can smell one herb in there, one spice in there.
Nutmeg.
That's it.
Love nutmeg.
Yes, yes. The recipe calls for me to grate it in there, but I don't have any equipment. Why grate it when it's already come grated? You know? Now the last thing I'm finna add to it is the rice. And the rice is what it's gonna do is it's gonna thicken up the soup a little bit. And it's gonna add just another element to it. And then it'll feel like you got a soup, a good soup, I should say. And you can add as much rice as you like, or you don't have to. So rice is like a starch to it anyway. Gonna give the soup a little bit more body, so that way you can enjoy it.
You take the pre-boiled rice.
You-
You take the pre-boiled.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Or you don't have to. You can put it in there raw, and it'll work even better.
Yeah.
And me, being me, I like rice. And I'm gonna put enough in there to make a good soup. And this is a different type of vegetable soup to me. And I can't wait till you guys taste it. Cause soon as it come to a boil, I'm gonna taste me a little bit. Then I'm gonna let you guys taste it. For that simple fact. Because I don't want to make sure it's not too salty or stuff like that. Or it's not too much pepper in it. Because if it is, then I can just add a little bit more stock to it. And that'll kind of help that. All right. In less than a few minutes, and this should come up. What do y'all think about that so far?
You know what we would add, when we cook it, a pinch of sugar.
Pinch of sugar?
Pinch of sugar to get
Yeah,
pinch,
yeah,
I
nothing.
think it's interesting that you added the onions just into a little oil and the vegetables and cooked them.
Yeah,
Never thought of that.
yeah, you're doing that to bring out the flavor of that onion so it can season those other
The
items.
broth in and then
You would have put the broth in the onion like so many other people. Yeah, that's just one of the things that we got a habit of, putting the liquid in first, letting it boil, and you lose all the flavor that way. All right, this guy trying to tell me something here. Yeah, okay. Sound like he's ready. I'm gonna scoop me a little bit up over here and put it in this white bowl right here so people can see it, especially people on TV.
the cabbage is done so fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing.
yeah. When you cut it in small bits and stuff, everything cooks a lot faster when it's cut up in small chunks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, you see all that color, and you see the broth in it, and you can see all those things. And now all I need is some cornbread. You know, cornbread go with any kind of soup to me. Potato soup and cornbread, vegetable soup and cornbread, cauliflower soup and cornbread. Because a roll just won't do it. A roll will soak up all your stuff.
Sounds, you eat a lot of bread with soup.
Yes.
You do.
Kind of hot. Kind of hot. Hot but good. Not too salty. I'm gonna cut it off so you guys can taste it. The rice, add to it. I can taste the cabbage and all the spices in it. And in a few minutes, we're gonna go around the room and you guys gonna taste it, cause You know me, like I said, I want to make sure it's done right so you guys wouldn't be all messed up also. All right. And that's a quick shot of our show. All right. Cabbage and rice soup. And you know I made it my own.